248 today. We're talking about some standouts in last night's matchup between Chicago and San Jose. So San Jose obviously ended up getting the win, and they ended up right from the get-go. I felt like this game was in San Jose's favor, just creating a lot of chances early on in the game. Eventually, you get a Will Smith goal, which was a really nice shot, really nice pass from Macklin Celebrini as well. And eventually, you get a Colin Graff goal. He had two goals in this game. Will Smith had one. And Colin Graff and Will Smith actually both had 2 points in this game. Macklin Celebrini was really effective on entries, creating diagonal play in the neutral zone and being able to transition the puck with pace and purpose. I really liked a lot of the young core, like Shakir Mukhamadullin. You have William Eklund, you have Celebrini, of course, Will Smith. Like those guys are just all noticeable throughout this game, and I think they're all very effective, all creating a lot of chances and a lot of sustained chances throughout this game. So with San Jose, they get a lot of guys engaged in that sense, and I think they're very effective there. And Tyler Toffoli, who always seems to play really well against Chicago ever since going back to his LA days and how long he was in LA and how long he was playing in the West. And he's always very effective against the Hawks. Always seemed to score. Always seemed to find real little seams that other players really easily missed. And I think with Toffoli, he's a really good fit in San Jose just for the younger core and being a veteran leader there. And he was really noticeable last night. And he's really strong on the puck. I forget sometimes how strong he is when he's hunting pucks and also how strong he is when he is on the puck in one-on-one battles. I think he's one of the harder players to knock off the puck because he just doesn't move. And even though he's not the fastest guy, he's kind of like got that John Tavares type vibe in a sense where he's got that center of gravity and he's got that low base to be able to perform and be able to execute on certain plays. And I think that's a lot harder for some players to do, but he makes it look really easy. So he was really effective last night. And I think a lot of San Jose's guys were. I like Patrick Giles as well. I think he's been a steady, reliable power forward type player ever since they acquired him in the Vitek Vanacek deal. And I think Patrick Giles is a guy who is going to be more of a third, fourth liner in the league longer term, but certainly a guy that has potential to blossom into more of, I would say, a 10 to 20 point scorer who can PK, kill plays, use his stick to be able to kill plays, and also just be effective on the rush when using his speed and having that tempo there. I think he can be an effective third liner. I would say that's his ceiling though. But just when it comes to Giles, he's been effective in the games that he's played for San Jose so far. And I liked some of the impact that they had on their fourth line. I think with Goudreau there, Barclay Goudreau, that is. I think he was effective at forechecking, and there were times where they matched up. San Jose matched up their fourth line against Chicago's top line, and they actually did a good job of shutting down Bedard and company there. I think that was a line that caused the top line of Chicago to have a bit of problems. And Connor Bedard, he honestly can be a little easy to knock off the puck, quite honestly speaking. I think Macklin Celebrini is a little tougher to knock off the puck than Bedard is. I think Bedard, you can just kind of push him and he can not necessarily fall off, but he can easily lose balance that way. So I think you don't always need to put him against top lines. You can put him against if you have a really good fourth line who can play with speed and has a lot of veterans down there. I think that's a good way of managing things in terms of line matchups. And honestly, I think San Jose would have wanted that matchup more often than not because then they could get other guys match up against Bedard and just see what works. And their fourth line seemed to do a good job shutting them down. On Chicago's side, there were only a couple guys. Ryan Donato, I thought, was effective against his former team, that being San Jose. He was creating a lot of shot volume. He had a chance early on the game where he ended up missing. He probably should have scored there, but he ended up missing and he didn't score in that part of the game. But he was creating a lot of volume. 6 shots, 1 assist for him. He was effective. He was noticeable. I really liked his game. And Frank Nazar was really effective. He had a really nice rush goal early on in the second period, I believe. I believe it was 10 seconds into the second. And he was buzzing. He was creating a lot of chances. With Frank, he plays a fearless style of hockey. Like when I watch him, I'm always amazed at how he's only 5'9", 5'10", because he plays like he's 6'3", just with the mindset that he has, the compete that he has, the tenacity and the speed. And that's a rare combination, especially for a player of his stature, but he just does a really good job of having that relentless motor on a regular basis and certainly very effective on and off the puck. And he's really enjoyable to watch. I am really curious to see what his long-term upside is, but he was really fun to watch yesterday. And obviously, the team in San Jose is kind of similar to the Hawks, so I think that allows some of the younger guys to take advantage and play their game similar to how they would in Rockford. But I think Nazar is really noticeable. And then Tavo Teravainen was steady. Ilya Mikheyev had a goal in this game. I think the other guy I really noticed a lot outside of Nick Foligno in terms of forechecking ability and being able to angle guys off was Wyatt Kaiser as a defenseman in this game. I noticed him a lot. I thought he was really, really good as a puck transporter in transition, moving up ice, creating a lot of open space there, and then being able to have two-way sequences. So being a two-way defenseman, knowing when to recover, when to pinch, when not to pinch. I think Kaiser's got the IQ side of things down, and I think that's what's going to allow him to be able to be a steady defenseman in this league. I would say his ceiling is more of a number four, number five defenseman in the league, but I certainly have liked his game based on IQ alone and skating alone. I think those two combinations allow him to be able to affect the play in a positive manner and make timely decisions that allow him to escape pressure. Like he's really good at escaping pressure on breakouts behind the net in the neutral zone. Like there's a lot of situations where he was doing a good job of that and being able to pivot and get away from some guys on San Jose. And San Jose's got a lot of speed in terms of their forecheckers, so him being able to evade that was really important to Chicago's success on D throughout this game as well.